away, doggy. It's all up there. And it's just got a bite. Get it! Get it! Welcome to Fishing Squad. Well, I think that's the quickest I've ever made a coffee, that, by a mile. Go on, say it.
Never met them anyway.
True. Right, so we're just going to do a bit of a review of, well, I've just recently bought the Daiwa SL30 I ended up getting it from Angling Direct. Usually I buy all my stuff from Veals, but they didn't have the SL30 in stock. So I bought the Sea-Line, what was it, SL30SH. Obviously, slangily known by us anglers as the Daiwa Slosh. I'm quite impressed with it, to be fair. We'll leave that alone for a minute and we'll talk about the Abu 7000s. Now, I've always used the Bassett. It's an old reel, this. I've had it for about 20 years. I think I got it. I'm just trying to, someone correct me if I'm wrong. What year was the foot and mouth outbreak in the UK? 99 or something like that?
I think it was 98.
Or 98. Don't check on your phone, Nick's going to check on a phone that, because obviously I don't do anything to plan. But I got it the Christmas before that, and the first spring we used it, the particular place where we go fishing, we weren't able to fish there, we had to fish elsewhere. In fact, I've shown you roughly where one of the marks are in the last video. It was in North Wales. We're not too far away from that Coast Guard station. Foot and mouth outbreak in the UK. But I got it the Christmas before that, and I've never ever, I think I've had to change one thing on it, and that's the pin for there's a little tooth pin that goes in there for the level wind. I've had to change that. That's the only thing I've had to change in
This is 2001.
2001. So you got about 20 years. So what can I say about it? It's just indestructible. It's an absolute bullet. It's absolutely bulletproof, should I say. It's never let me down, ever. The only flaw with it sometimes is a level wind. Over a period of time, you might have to change the level wind tooth. Now I've got these now. I think they're over 150 quid, if you go online to try and buy one. So that's been a really good reel for me. I did upgrade the handle, something that were a bit more friendly in terms of, a bit more ergonomically friendly, if you like. Just a bit smooth. I took that off an Abu 7, which I recently bought off eBay, but ended up using it for spares basically, which leads me on to my next reel. So with that, I'd give it 9.5 out of 10 definitely. It's a really good reel. I don't know what the modern ones are like. I'm led to believe some of the ring gear in the modern ones is plastic. With this, it's all metal right the way through. The side plates are really robust. They don't rust. They're just absolutely fantastic, really. I keep banging on about them. I mean, the only complaint I do have is I think having a level wind on sometimes restricts you a bit with your casting. So I did purchase an Abu 7000. I did take the level winds off both of them, but Jay obviously come to Wales, was he were using this one, so I put the level wind on to make it easy for him. If you're not used to casting a multiplier, leave the level winds on him. I did take the level wind off them both originally, but I put this one back on. So this one here, it's an Abu 7000, similar to the 7500. The only difference is really, is it doesn't have formula bearings in the ends, in the end caps here. It's got brass like guides, if you like, washer type things that the spindle for the spool sits in. I take the brakes out of both of them, by the way, just as we go on. I just use the centrifugal knob there to control the speed of the spool to suit whatever fishing conditions I'm fishing in. We couldn't really do much casting with them the last time we were fishing because the wind was really strong. It was quite awkward, really. It restricts your casting a bit with multipliers when the wind's strong. What it does in my eyes, I don't know if anyone's got any tips to increase distance and stuff. That'd be fantastic if you have. Just add in the comments. Yeah, but the level wind, I took level wind off this, and I find it helps with casting. Sometimes it can be a bit fiddly feeding it on because of this bar here. When you haven't got a level wind on, you know, when you have, especially if the line's slack, it can be a bit fiddly. You have to get quite close sometimes to it to feed it on. But other than that, it is fantastic. The only downside to these older models, I think this is from the 70s, this one. I think the side plates are made out of brass possibly, and they do have a tendency to corrode. You can get new side plates from them. These aren't too bad. I'd probably get 20 quid for this set here, maybe a little bit more, even in the current condition that they're in. So it is what it is. It's done. I've got taupe on both of them. I've got congreels on both of them. I've got plenty of plus on both of them. Dogfish, you name it, pretty much. Not a problem. Not a problem with either of them. They're really easy to strip down. They're really easy to clean. They're really easy to service because all the parts are quite sizey. They all go back together pretty straightforward enough. I basically educated myself on how to service these. It's really straightforward. You're not going to break anything. Whereas on the moderner ones, the Abu 7, I think it is, it's really fiddly. The ring gear is plastic. You know, there's little springs and stuff that can come apart. Not very good. These are really robust, really durable. You can pick them up on eBay second hand between sort of 35 to 50 quid maybe. And yeah, I'm really very happy with these. I've got no problem carrying on using these, but obviously they're a bit dated now. So I decided I'd upgrade to something a bit more modern. I haven't stripped this one down by any sense. I can only judge it by what I've used it. I've used it in tough conditions. This Daiwa Slosh. I haven't really opened it up enough yet to be wanging it out, but early impressions of it are, I like the size of the handle. You know, it's got a really nice big handle that you can adjust to make it like a real power handle, a real cranking power handle. Other thing with these is, the difference is, when you disengage your spool for like flick your bail arm over if you like, it automatically clips back in. With the Daiwa Slosh it doesn't, which isn't really a problem to be fair, you know. It's just, you'd expect that on a boat reel anyway. It's like boat reel, isn't it? It's a heavy shore work reel. Not a problem. What I do like about it is the star drag. I'm assuming it's made out of graphite and not plastic. It looks like potentially graphite. Or is it metal? I think it could be potentially metal with rubber coating on that. Either way, it's far more comfortable to go up and down the drag. It's a bit more ergonomically friendly, more comfortable on the old fingers. With the Abus, these metal ones are a bit heavy on the fingers than, you know, the sharp, a bit awkward sometimes. They just dig in a bit. Not a problem. It's just the Daiwa C-Line Slosh 30 is a bit more softer on the old fingers, and the cog's a bit better positioned for getting your thumb in between it and really going up and down drag when you've got a fish on. It's probably a bit more straightforward to use in terms of adjusting the spool and stuff. I haven't stripped it down, as I say, so I don't really know exactly what's in the side there in terms of the components being plastic or metal. But it's nice and smooth. It was really strong. It did the job. It got conger reels up off at the bottom, no problem. I winched a bullus in on it. The last time I ended up losing bullus, as you saw. What else? What I like about it is you've got a lot of open space here on this top bit for feeding the line on, because obviously it doesn't have a level wind on. Whereas with these, if you take the level wind off them, I don't know if you can see, you are a little bit restricted by that bar sometimes. These are perfect for feeding it on manually. And obviously the bonus of that is your spool's nice open, which should aid you when you're casting out as well. They've both got ratchets on, obviously for for line out, like alarm if you like. But yeah, early impressions with this are, they're really good. I'm hoping to get another one for Christmas.
Cheeky man.
But that's my early impressions on them. I'd give this a 9 at the moment because I haven't had anything decent on it yet. But I'm happy with them both. And if anyone's looking for real, you know, it's all about a budget sometimes when you sea fishing. It's not about spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And the market's wrong sometimes. Right, it's educating people, like trying to get people to spend hundreds of pounds. If you're on a budget, go down the route with an old Abu. You can't go wrong. They're absolutely bulletproof. You get a decent one, you know, spend 40 quid. I think they're brand new, they're 100, so you're gaining there. Some of these Daiwa Slosh, they tend to hold the money a little bit. You're best off just buying new, I think, by the looks of it to me. I bid it on some on eBay second hand, and I just thought, for the sake of 40 quid, you might as well just buy a new one. So, yeah, but it was probably more like 30 quid. Some of them going for 60, and brand new, they're 90. So, quite happy with that. And the line, I'm going to put a picture up here of the line I used. It was ASO Bulletproof, £30 line I think it is. I'll correct it if I'm wrong. Fantastic. Just everything that you want from a line. Really strong, really tough, you know, high abrasive resistance. Brilliant for rock fishing. I can only relate, obviously, when I'm saying this about this bit of review of them. It just all relates to fishing rough ground on a deep water rock mark in the UK. So I'd say these type of reels are perfect. Other people might have their favourites. I know there's pen models that are fantastic too. I'd imagine they're all similar, but I think for money, if you're on a budget, I'd go down the Abu 7000 route, second hand. I haven't really come across a rod. I know a good rod. It's an old one, a Daiwa Paul Kerry Supercast. My dad uses that. They're fantastic. I think they might be originally designed maybe for fixed spool reels, but he's always used an Abu 7000 on his. He's never had a problem with it. He's had a £53 soap on it, so there you go. Just a couple of bits of tips there. You can pick one of them up for 50 quid. So for kitting yourself out for like deep water, rough ground, shore fishing in the UK, you might get done for 90 quid for a rod and reel. Just an idea. So yeah, that's it guys for this video. I think I'm probably going to go down the route of 2 Slosh 30s. Just purely because I like that openness on top of the spool, nothing else. But I'll always have these. I'm going to hold on to these two as backup. Or if I leave some gear in North Wales, I might have some gear at home for doing some shore fishing around Yorkshire and stuff. So yeah, that's it basically. And there's going to be some more videos coming up. I don't know if we're going to get out fishing. I'm not sure yet. I'm in my mind up. I've got 4 days off next week. We might possibly venture out. You know, we might do some carp fishing or some lure fishing. I'm not sure yet. You know, we've paid for fish on a pond, so it's like it's not very expensive, but we can just go whenever we want. So it's like it's hard not to go fishing sometimes. I think some of the kids are finished late from school on one of the days next week as well, because after school clubs and stuff, aren't they? So we might get out. That's what's coming up. Other than that, we're not going to go mad for the taupe when we go back to Wales in October. We're going to target some other species as well. I want to do some beach fishing, do a session on the beach and get some really good camera footage of like waves and fish and, you know, releasing fish close to the water with the camera over the top of them and stuff. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to say at the minute 9.5 foot Abus, 9 foot Daiwa, but I'm sure Daiwa's working its way up, as you can tell. So it's hard sometimes to change what you've got faith in when you're fishing. So just trust what you've got faith in basically. But if you're looking for a cheap setup, if you just go in and get into it, go down that Paul Kerry Daiwa Paul Kerry Supercast rod, and it's I think it's the Mark II version, and go down the Abu 7000 reel. You might pick them up for cheaper. I picked them up for cheaper with dodgy side plates on me. This particular one, the anti-reverse thing was out, and I don't think the person that was selling it realised it. And they knocked it out cheap. I picked it up, I just put it up on the side, clipped it back in, job done. So yeah, it works out well for me that. Other than that, keep an eye on marketplace and stuff. If anyone's got any questions about anything, either get in touch on Facebook, we're on Facebook, and obviously on YouTube. So all good guys. We'll hope to be what do you say?
Tight lines.
Tight lines, yeah. All good. Yeah, looking forward to doing some more fishing. So fortunately, we're at work at the moment, but over the next couple of days we are. So, yeah, you know, it's never nice being at work, but that's what pays for good days out and stuff, isn't it? So, let's get on, get back to Wales, get some more fish out. But we're going to enjoy it next couple of weeks while we're looking forward to it and stuff. So, yeah, that's it. Have a good one. Sorry, I nearly forgot. There's some examples here of me and Jay casting out with the. I think there's 2 sections of me casting out with the Daiwa, and then there's one of him casting out with the Abu 7500 CS3. If you keep them quite tight on the centrifugal force thing, you know, the knob, they're quite good to learn to cast to cast with, as well as if you're not used to multipliers. He smashed it to bits. So yeah, I'm going to just put a bit of backing track on now, and watchers are having a few casts with him, having a couple of casts, and there's only 3 sections of it anyway. Alright, I'll see you later.
You were there. You held my